Have you ever pondered how vital water management was in the medieval era? As we delve into the annals of history, we find that water was the lifeblood of medieval society. Its importance cannot be overstated. It was crucial for survival, agriculture, and industry. Now, you might be wondering, how did they manage water without the technology we have today? Well, despite the lack of modern conveniences, the people of the medieval era were quite innovative. They developed sophisticated systems for managing this precious resource. From ingenious ways of sourcing water to intricate methods of distribution, they paved the way for many of the water management systems we see today. Their determination and resourcefulness were truly remarkable, showing us that necessity indeed is the mother of invention. So as we embark on this journey, we'll uncover the challenges they faced, the solutions they devised, and the impact their innovations had on society. So let's dive into the depths of history to understand the evolution of water management during the medieval era. As we venture back to the early medieval period, we find that the primary sources of water were wells and springs. Wells and springs were not just merely sources of water, but they were also communal hubs where people gathered, shared news, and formed bonds. Imagine a time when the simple act of drawing water could lead to a lively exchange of stories, news, and ideas. A well was more than just a hole in the ground. It was the heart of the community. The process to draw water from these sources was straightforward. A bucket, often made of wood or leather, was attached to a long rope. This rope and bucket system was then lowered into the well or spring, filled with water, and hauled back up. It was a simple yet effective way to access the life-sustaining resource that lay beneath the Earth's surface. These wells and springs were often located centrally within a village or town, which made them accessible to all. Some wealthier households had their own private wells, but these were the exception rather than the norm. Now let's consider the seasons. In times of plenty, springs would gush forth with water, but in the heat of summer or the cold of winter, they could dry up. Wells, on the other hand, provided a more reliable source of water, tapping into the underground water tables that remained unaffected by the changing seasons. And though these methods were rudimentary, they laid the foundation for more advanced systems to come. As societies grew, so did their need for water, leading to the development of aqueducts. This was a turning point in the medieval era, a sign of the ingenuity and innovation that characterized this time period. Aqueducts were more than just simple structures. They were complex feats of engineering that required a deep understanding of physics, mathematics, and geology. It all began with a source of water, typically a spring or river located at a higher elevation. From there, the water would be channeled into the aqueduct, a long, gently sloping conduit that would transport the water to its destination. The construction of these aqueducts was no small task. It involved careful planning and precise execution. The engineers had to ensure that the slope of the aqueduct was just right, too steep, and the water would flow too quickly and erode the structure, too shallow, and the water wouldn't flow at all. They also had to navigate the natural terrain, building bridges and tunnels as needed to maintain the correct slope and direction. But the challenges didn't stop there. Once the water reached the town or city, it had to be distributed. To accomplish this, the aqueduct would often terminate at a distribution tank, from which smaller conduits would carry the water to public fountains, baths, and sometimes even individual homes. These aqueducts were not only functional, but they were also incredibly durable. Some of them were built with such precision and care that they are still standing today, centuries after they were first constructed. They bear witness to the remarkable skill and knowledge of the people who built them. The rise of aqueducts transformed medieval society. They enabled the growth of towns and cities, facilitated agriculture, and improved sanitation. They also represented a shift in how people thought about water, not just as a natural resource, but as a commodity that could be controlled and distributed. These aqueducts were a testament to the ingenuity of the medieval people, a symbol of their determination to harness nature's resources. They stand as a powerful reminder of our ancestors' ability to innovate and adapt in the face of challenges, a legacy that continues to inspire us today. With the increase in population and urbanization, the need for water storage became apparent, leading to the construction of reservoirs. Reservoirs were the medieval solution to an age-old problem, ensuring a steady supply of water, particularly during periods of drought. These large-scale water storage systems were often made by damming rivers or streams, creating a man-made lake that could hold vast quantities of water. By harnessing the natural flow of water, these reservoirs could provide a reliable supply even when rain was scarce. But storing water was only half the battle. Medieval engineers also had to ensure the water remained pure and free from contamination. and so they developed a range of techniques to maintain water quality. Some reservoirs, for instance, were lined with clay or other impermeable materials to prevent seepage and contamination from the surrounding soil. Others were built with a series of settling basins where the water could rest and any sediment or impurities could settle to the bottom before being drawn off for use. And let's not forget the role of maintenance and regular cleaning. Medieval societies understood the importance of keeping their reservoirs clean to prevent the spread of diseases, and so regular cleaning was an integral part of reservoir management. These reservoirs, while not as visually striking as the towering aqueducts, were a crucial part of the medieval water management system. They represented a significant leap forward in ensuring a reliable, clean water supply for growing urban populations. So, from wells and springs to aqueducts and reservoirs, we see a progression of increasingly sophisticated water management systems. So, we've journeyed through the evolution of water management in the medieval era. We've delved into the importance of wells and springs, the primary sources of water in medieval times, and marveled at the ingenuity with which they were dug and maintained. We've navigated the rise of the aqueducts, grand structures that transported water over vast distances, a testament to the architectural prowess of the era. Lastly, we've explored the pivotal role of reservoirs and water storage systems, underscoring their importance in ensuring a steady water supply, even in times of scarcity. All these elements paint a vivid picture of the resourcefulness and resilience of our ancestors. Their innovation and determination laid the groundwork for the water systems we enjoy today. Their efforts remind us of the importance of water management and the need to cherish this vital resource. Remember, the next time you turn on your tap, you're part of a long history of human innovation in water management, a history that stretches back to the medieval era.